Welcome back, Sherlock Holmes Chapter One. I'm sorry about yesterday. I said it on Twitter, but I wasn't really feeling it. Oh, sorry. Because I had to get up early today. To work. Yay. Hate it. I know I normally stream anyway, because I'll get up anyway, but I was feeling so tired. And I thought I was alright, but guess not. I'm still tired as all heck. But doesn't matter. We'll get into this, we'll play a bit, but probably not as long as I normally would. We'll see. I think I plan to do some side stories today, right? Hey Erica, how you doing? It was side story time, right? Yes. Okay, what was my objective here? Nothing. Jaylon. What the seven's talking about? Blood near the main entrance. Okay. Yes. I'm even more tired than I normally am. Oh. What entrance we talking about?
Another knife in the pillar.
Oh, more. Ah, you guys. Don't stop talking.
Another knife in the pillar.
Just tired. Just tired of human interactions. Father sail to the Balkans? Don't think so. Family honor. Old custom? Prison? No. Ah. Jak marże. Totally messed that up. Blood vengeance came to Kodona from Albania during the Ottoman rule. Some locals find it appalling, some but poor, and the pillar of knives stands high as a grim reminder of that. There's probably already a top out there with that written on it, but sure, that will be my first merch. At the entrance with no eagle. What? What am I looking for? That's it. What do I have bookmarked here? Just to market in general. Yeah, get that out of here, and it's this area, right? Yeah. What? Game, can't you start where I left off and not put me somewhere I didn't, so I lose my way? You know how bad I am with directions in games. Blood. I see blood. Got no blood. No blood. Apparently that's the stone color? Probably. Can I go in? No. Dude, do you know anything about this? No. Ah, you're a traveling thingy. What? Where's this stupid home? Your kitty cat?
pile of fresh clothes. How convenient.
Oh. Bloodied
All
one.
soaked in blood. Well, a fresh shirt is as good a lead as any.
So, think you can identify the killer on the first try?
Do you doubt me?
Yeah. There's so few clues here. Let me out. Okay, front entrance. Hello, my friend.
Maybe. The killer is wearing a fresh shirt, remember? This chap looks like he's been rolling
What?
around in mud.
I didn't. What? I didn't mean to talk to him in regards to. John, that is unfair. I manually saved though. What? Where is my manual save from yesterday? No, that is the correct one, right? Right? I'll take it. Oh, nice. We could also go with my dogs. I don't expect anything from them. Okay. Stupid John. Let me in. Okay. Spin it.
A bloody
Fresh
trail.
blood.
Let's see where it
Ooh.
leads.
What? Is that John? One bird that just makes a noise when my reference promise.
A pile of fresh clothes. How convenient. All soaked in blood. Well, a fresh shirt is as good a lead as any.
So, think you can identify the killer on the first try?
Do you doubt me?
Okay. We're safe here. I don't have to do that again. Yes. But I should. Not you. Dirty clothes. Wounded. Yeah, that's... Do we have someone else in here? Hello? Courtyard. There's someone else. Dirty clothes. Alright. That's it? Blind. Probably not him. Can't go in there. Okay, so it's the one that's standing by the door. Really? Can't be that easy. Game. Somehow I doubt it. But it seems to be the only option. left for me. Was there a way to the right? No. Well, we can figure it out when I get around to figuring merch out. I don't think it would be consumed by guilt or stress. Okay. Hives. Wounded. Oozing through the bandage. Hands are shaking. Maybe don't kill people. Knife is missing. Yeah. The culprit is at the House of the Eagle. Judging by his ornamented sheath, he is the scion of his family. Scion? Wearing a bloody bandage under his shirt, and due to the missing knife in his sheath, he is clearly the murderer. It looks like the consequences of his actions are finally sinking in. Though everything in his bearing indicates that he's smitten with remorse for what he did. Yeah, it seems like he's remorseful. The culprit is at the House of the Eagle. Judging by his ornamented sheath, he is the scion of the family. Wearing a bloody bandage under his shirt, and due to the missing knife in his sheath, he is clearly the murderer. Seems that his heart is still racing and he's still wound up from a fight. He's trying to suppress it, but his body gives him away. No. I think he would be more hyper if he didn't actually feel bad for what he did. You know what I mean? He would be energized. Yes, he is shaking, and that could be a sign of him being overly energized, but I kind of doubt it. Let's go for remorseful.
What are you staring at, you crazy woman?
Why should I silently leave? What is there to silently leave? What is our quest here, by the way? I forgot. Ah, right.
So, here you are. The wounded eagle in its eyrie.
What the hell? An Englishman here? Why are you wearing a dress?
I hate to interrupt you while you're struggling with your conscience. Perhaps you ought to have made peace with it before doing the deed.
My conscience is perfectly clear, Britt. Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Indeed I do. You are the obedient son of this house. Obedient and wounded. But let me explain.
I am Osai, son of Hassan. You are on my father's property, and you better stop all this jabbering nonsense.
My name is Sherlock Holmes. I have every reason to believe that you were involved in the murder of Mark Ridley.
Are you accusing me?
Accuse? What? I identified the word. What were the means of crime? Okay. Select?
That's right, I am. I recovered the murder weapon. It bears an eagle crest, the same crest that is so proudly displayed within your house.
And a proud house we are. My father speaks for all Ottomans on this island, remember that.
Regrettably, I failed to detect much pride in the callow way you ambushed the corporal.
What was the window of opportunity? What? The window of opportunity? What? I'm misinterpreting the window of opportunity meaning. True. Window of opportunity. Okay, give me. Also called the critical window. A window of opportunity is a short period of time within which some action can be taken that will achieve a desired outcome. Once this period is over or the window is closed, the chance to take this opportunity is no longer possible. So it is the blackmail letter?
It couldn't have been very comfortable for you inside that chest, waiting to catch the corporal off guard. Couldn't you find a better place to hide?
You're a fine one to talk of tactics. You're dressed as a woman.
If you'll pardon the metaphor, he was a fishbone that became lodged in your throat. You had a strong motive to see him dead.
What was the motive? It was Jaylon's letter, right? Or his letter? Or where was it? Wasn't there a letter to Jaylon? Confirm accusation, yeah.
Let me think about it.
What? No. Now we have to go through all that again? Oh, come on. Oh, means of the crime. What did I choose? The murder weapon, right.
That's right.
And a proud...
Window of opportunity, blackmail. And then... yeah.
At the heart of this crime is a woman, Jaylon. I wonder who she might be to you. Your wife? Unlikely. Your sister?
Enough! Don't you dare say a word about my sister. It was he who led her to sin. That son of a dog, Mark Ridley. He spat on our traditions and brought shame to our family. His father promised us peace, but I knew how it would be. You feed the crow, it tears your eyes out.
So you risked the peace to right your honor.
I had no other choice. Not that you'd understand, Brit.
You murdered someone. We said in the beginning, if someone was murdered, he has to be brought to justice. Last time the woman was not murdered. Yes, she was assaulted, which is not a thing you should do, and I wouldn't have done the deal that I did if it didn't overall favor her and her people. Because having her alone, living in peace and harmony and luxury, does not help her in any way. She would feel guilty. No. The needs of the people outweigh the needs of the one. But in this case, he murdered someone. And it was just for family honor. I'm sorry, but if that brings unrest, then so be it.
Azai, you are under arrest for the murder of Mark Ridley. You'll have to come with me now.
First you sneak into my house, and now this? We'll put you down like the rabid dog you are.
You mean you'll be put down like the rabid dogs you are? Sure.
I'm coming for you.
We can have that.
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
I'm gonna hurt you.
Don't cry, you'll live.
I'm still wondering
Do
why
symbol.
they
The snuff's ready.
raise their hands as soon as they get their heads shot off.
No more
Are
crying
they
for
so
you.
much in
and
shock
give 'em the
that they
pepper
don't
snuff.
have any hairs left? Come on. Move it! You first? Sure.
I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest.
The snuff's ready.
Okay. Get him! Hey, get that thing!
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Oh no, I missed the... Come on, shoot! Darling, shoot! Okay, then don't. Let me get rid of that and that. And then we can do this.
No more crying for you until next month.
You can overcome the brute now.
Do symbol.
The snuff's ready.
That's it.
It's time for you to go to prison, Azai. Come with me, and let's do so peacefully this time.
And he waited.
You'll regret this, Brit.
He waited for us to finish his man off. He didn't run away. What is this?
Get out of my face, Brit.
Well, I am so sorry that I have brought justice. Okay, Pin, I have confirmed the killer of Mark Ridley, Ozai of the House of the Eagle, confessed to the crime. He killed Mark Ridley for having an unlawful affair with his sister, Jailan. I decided to arrest the culprit. The police can handle the case from here. Now I need to report back to Mr. Estevo. Who is Mr. Estevo? Oh, somebody give me a hint. Ah, right. Right.
This area is restricted.
Ah, sorry.
Mr. Holmes, I am in no position to reprimand you, but you should know that your unwarranted intervention will cost us dearly.
I did what I had to do. The killer was brought to justice.
I didn't expect you to be so narrow-minded. You have undermined your brother's efforts, and now we will have to face the consequences.
Such is the price of law and order, Mr. Estevo. Everyone must be held accountable for their actions.
Law and order? You are clearly oblivious of the bigger picture, Mr. Holmes. There is no point in us discussing it further. I bid you good day.
You did everything right, Sherry, no matter what Mycroft or his henchmen will say.
Get reprimanded for arresting a dude. Okay, big brother. Okay. We have so many side cases. Too much, in my opinion. Well, most of them are because I have the season pass, so I know where they're coming from. There weren't so many originally in the game. Okay, you know what? We'll focus on the main story and Atos. Come on. You don't want to eat it? Fine. We'll focus on the main story, and if we get more side stories and are still willing to do them, we'll do them later. But I want to play straight. I want to know what it's about.
Did you hear Basil?
Eavesdropping. Okay, over here, the circumstances of the incident at Popello's company. Under my mattress, no. Vendetta, no. Claims innocence. I've devastated press scandal. Okay, someone is dead in the safe. Come on, continue.
Did you hear Basilio?
That wasn't it? Yes? Yes? No? My curiosity has been piqued by talk that Basilio Capello, the owner of the famous Amor Capello home security company. Oh, so it's armor in this case? It's not the Italian. Okay, has been arrested. His situation is quite peculiar. A man named Niccolo Detti has been found dead inside a safe in Basilio's store. Basilio claims innocence, but the evidence is against him. He is being held in the holding cells at the police station.
In the police. Let's pretend to be cops, eh? We can just stand around and look confused.
That's fine. Sure. Okay, invites me to... What did that say? What? Oh, is that because of me? Or because of what I did? Oops. Oh, outdoors. Fine. Dogs. You guys, he was a murderer. You hear me? He murdered someone. And I don't care about your honor or the honor of a big family. It is still murder. I know if you don't know what that means, but... Okay, I'm done. Oh, the consequences for that. Yes, I send you the appropriate outfit. Oh yeah, right. No, yes, the Prince of Darkness. The Prince of Darkness. That's it, right? Right. Okay, where do I have to go and what is the Court Manchus Mansion located in the Purpose Lane across from Cardona Abbey in northern Gwensaray? Do we have to throw things outside right now? No. Stupid humans. Okay. Northern Gwensaray. No. Northern Gwensaray. Focus Lane. Cardona Abbey. Okay, let's go for Cardona Abbey first. Cardona Abbey. Cardona Abbey. There. Okay. Turquoise Lane. There we go. And that's the fastest way. I don't want to close my window. Stop throwing stuff. All right. As for the... Ooh, what? Okay. Mention. Possible. We don't expect much merch. We could also give people a choice if they want a cat, a dog, my dogs. Okay. Ooh, everybody looks fancy.
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, sir, I'm afraid I don't know about that.
You sure about that? Aren't we all invited for this grand party?
Welcome, sir. I do hope you enjoy yourself.
Thanks. Oh, half-naked ladies.
Enjoy the evening, sir. There is still plenty of time before the grand finale.
All right.
Ooh, half-naked ladies and gentlemen. And the blindfolded penis. Ooh, yes, some sexy underwear there. What you looking for, Sherlock?
What if I write an article about these people here? Can you help me gather information about Cordona's elite?
You have such pretty hands. What can you do with them?
Hello. But not what you'd expect. I think Sherlock is a bit too innocent for that.
Hey, Ansel, I see that look in your eyes.
Yeah, you want to go upstairs, mate? No? That's fine. But I actually enjoy a blindfolded pianist more.
Do not distract me. It's not easy to play blindfolded.
That is true. That is true. But what you're playing isn't that hard, actually. But it is to be expected if you play blindfolded. But to be honest, if you know where the keys are when you start, it's not that hard to keep the keys if you play something like this. Oh well. Who am I talking to?
Oh, there's beauties. Natchez is the best, as always.
Who am I talking to? Why am I talking to them? John asked me to look for information that he might use to write an article exposing the local elites.
Well, I heard the finale will be splendid.
Yay.
My goodness, Sherlock. They made a blood fountain.
No, John, it's definitely not blood, just wine.
Yeah.
Or was it a guess?
Let me see that stallion up close.
Okay, if I pin this, do I get more information out of these people?
Can I ask you a question?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Let me see that stallion up close.
Okay.
Oh, there's beauties. Natchez is the best, as always.
Excuse me, just one question.
No, I've never heard of it. But I can help you with something else.
Time to check your who, what, and what, Sherry. Who are you asking? About what?
Right.
And
Blah,
dressed as
blah,
what?
blah, blah, yeah.
I've worked up an appetite since the last party.
Why? How? What am I supposed to do here? Oh, there's a book.
These medieval botany and chemistry books look even more satanic than the occult ones. Romantic poetry and prose. Someone's in touch with their feelings. Codex Orchis. Why does this occult book sound like a flower?
That's it? Okay. We get more books over here. If you find
Well-known
anything.
and recent plays to keep up to date with the current trends.
Nothing else? Okay, can we leave? This party is getting boring. No? Oh no, I'm locked in. Nobody's really talking to me.
My husband thinks I am playing bridge here.
Sure. You sure he's not here himself?
Could you help me?
I'm so sorry. I can't help you, sir.
Help me, please.
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
Time to check your who, what, and
and
what.
Yeah,
Sherry.
yeah, yeah.
Who are you
Shut
asking
up.
about what and dressed as what?
Oh.
Sherlock! Friend! I wasn't sure you'd come.
Werner, I see you are not yourself.
The more time you spend here in Cordona, the more I feel it my duty to bring you into our world and show you all we have to offer.
And what is on offer today?
Pleasure, indulgence, relief, and relaxation. You've earned some time for yourself, have you not?
Those who know me would say I'm incapable of it.
Nonsense. I refuse to believe there is anyone permitted to know Sherlock Holmes.
You may be right.
Then free yourself from inhibition and expectation. The night is young, and so are the guests. You should try to enjoy both. It's not healthy for handsome men to spend every night alone, and certainly not in a house filled with such melancholic memories.
I must admit, my travels have proven more taxing than expected. I'm less confident in my life and myself. A time of relaxation seems a distant dream.
So can I tempt you with a physical aid to your moral consolations? There's wine, of course, and something to smoke, or perhaps an artificial paradise? Yes, something more spiritual, a potentiator to sharpen the mind. A 7% solution of, well, that'd be telling, but you must try it.
My mind already operates at a far higher level than most. I struggle to believe anything could improve it. My ultimate duty is to provide the world with truth, and I do that perfectly well as is.
Duty? You've never cared about that before.
Of course I do. Exposing a lie, revealing a fact, that is a moral responsibility.
That's not morality. Morals are what happens afterwards when truth collides with consequence. Do you ever follow up on cases you solved? Do you ever see what happened next? Visit the victims? Ensure justice is served in the courts? And how do you choose where to direct your attention? Are there not deserving causes to which your brilliance could be applied but isn't?
You ascribe me more power than I possess. I have a narrow skill set and work within that mandate. What occurs afterward is irrelevant.
With every action or inaction, you place a finger on the scales of morality. Many in the city would see you as abdicating your responsibility.
I haven't.
Not me, of course. Morality is subjective, just like truth. There is little to be gained from indulging in it, and far better things to indulge in. Now I must insist on easing any burdens I've placed upon your shoulders. Show yourself a kindness, and try this rather delectable concoction.
If this solution truly does assist with thinking, then well, perhaps it would be puerile to overlook an opportunity to study it. I'll take it with me.
Yes, Sherlock. Very good. And now, our evening begins in earnest. I just remembered. I'm sorry, Sherlock. My mind's delightfully impaired. Please take this key. It opens the altar room, past the library.
Pardon? Altar room? What now, Werner?
Go quickly and find our Fabio. Only you can make him talk. I'll join you in a minute.
So you're the one that made Sherlock a drug addict? Is that it? Okay. Eh? Didn't we open the first one? Why is it so... What? Sure, whatever. You guys want to talk?
Let me know if you need anything, sir.
Thanks. It was testimony. Phil gave me a key so I could talk to someone named Fabio in the altar room. Okay, let's in that one first.
Do you know anything about this?
Don't take it personally, sir. But I know nothing about this.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
Don't take it personally,
Oh,
sir.
yo, shut up, shut up,
but
shut
I
up,
know
shut up!
nothing about this.
Everyone's looking at us, Sherry. You sure you know what you're doing?
Honey, you feeling lonely? I'll be your friend.
Sure.
Nancio's had to enforce the masks after the scandal.
How about the identity disclosure scandal? Someone was sick? Nah, probably not. Lost bet, no. Fired up incident. Unadvised priest. Too ugly without mask. Offended duchess. Too poor to attend. Political crisis, probably. Yeah. Continue your talk, please.
Nancio's had to enforce...
Okay, what did we say? Too poor? No. Lost bet? Was it lost bet? No. And the duchess? No. Huh? Cheating firm? People describe the scandal from a previous party. Vice Governor Coden Jackson Ayodun was found by his wife-to-be, a Prussian duchess, in the company of young men. Although the marriage was intended to be a political one, the emotions of the duchess were real. The incident instigated a political crisis between Codona and Prussia. Although there were only a few notes of protest, the governor fired his protege. Yo, Duchess. He could have had... I don't know how many young men there were. 5, a gangbang, you know? You, in the arms of several young, sexy, well-trained men, and your husband-to-be. He can leave the room. Isn't that so much better? I know there were feelings involved and all, but... Okay.
That's what I like about this party. Bring me more dirt, Sherry. One more piece, and I can expose these base hedonists.
Okay, so I'm looking for people whispering to each other. Is that it? Sure, I can do that. One more over here. Do you want to talk?
Let Fabio speak for himself.
Hey. Whispering people. Whispering people. Why are you whispering?
You know what was here before Nancio's family bought it.
Find out the eerie history of the mansion. Cultist architect. Auction? No. Fraud? No. Magic circle? Nah. Ancestral? No. Before Mancio's family, the mansion was owned by an occultist architect. He dedicated his life to conducting a powerful ritual from the Forgotten Tome, but the ordinary magic circle was proved too weak for it. That was why he built this mansion. A keen eye might notice that its shape corresponds with certain magical symbols, and some walls have cavities. One day the architect simply disappeared. An ash stain on the floor was all that remained. Perhaps he was successful in his endeavor.
I'll pin them down with this scoop. Thank you, Sherlock.
Nice. Now we can continue. Oh
My God. Was he here this whole time?
This crude tattoo partially covers as slave branding.
Mm-hmm.
A blunt force trauma may have suffered an internal hemorrhage. This golden handle has a bloodstain on it. The dagger is heavy and sharp, but lacks balance.
Yeah, it's a ritual dagger. It's not made.
This worm-like sigil has been drawn with his own blood.
Anything else? Oh. People were nice enough to leave some clothes on. Okay, what else? Two more things, okay.
The victim has clenched the fabric so firmly in his fist that it's nigh impossible to remove it.
What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh no. Oh. Ah, the wound itself.
The wound is deep. A precise strike reached the heart. He died right here.
Okay. Oh, so you joined us.
The herbs here are Salvia divinorum. They have a slight hallucinogenic effect to emphasize the ceremony. This elaborate box must be for the ritual dagger. This oil has a slight aroma of flowers and olive. The ointment smells mouse-like. I presume it is an aphrodisiac prepared from a Spanish fly.
Okay.
This one looks like a twisted symbol of Venus, drawn in a hurry. The sign reminds me of the astrological symbol for Mars.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? I'll talk to you later, don't you worry.
This is a different ritual.
Ritual scenario. I found a scenario of some sort of ritual with a remark written at the beginning. It says, read and rehearse this rite, Manchos. The naked woman lies on the altar on a bed of flowers, symbolizing Mother Gaia. The one who leads the ritual oils the body of the woman to awaken her inner fertility. The participants should chant at this moment and call for the man who can please Mother Gaia. Then, the man who will impersonate the principle of life may come to engage in sexual congress with her. Well, that definitely didn't happen. Don't ignore the guests, Matista, and don't and stop boring them. Wow, okay. They don't want to hear about your stupidities. They want to feel how beautiful they are and how generous you can be towards them. You are here to please and celebrate life. Remember, each guest paid a great deal to be with you. Mancho.
How can anyone accept such behavior?
Money.
A useful tool for a disguise arsenal.
If money is...
Handcrafted and luxurious cufflinks. There's also a note. For my Fabio, Manchos.
What? Yeah.
The key is similar to the one that Vogel gave me. The capital F on the key fob might refer to Fabio.
Okay.
Would you recognize me in one of these? I suppose not.
Really depends on the outfit you're wearing.
Similar to the guests' robes, apart from the bloodstains.
So someone changed.
Props, decorations, and tools for a more detailed set. Identical to the robes the guests are wearing.
Mm-hmm.
The pitcher is empty, but with puddles around it. Blood clots are adhered to the sides of the drain.
Good thing nobody ever cleans after themselves properly after doing the deed. It helps solve crime. So where does this lead? Cigar?
Enough cigars to burn down the entire mansion.
Don't say that. A whip.
Why don't people tidy up after themselves?
Good question. I was wondering as well.
Blood. A sturdy bottle met a not-so-sturdy human. It didn't break only because it was unopened. An open wound spoiled the carpet.
Okay, what else do we have? Nothing. Nothing, apparently. Okay. So it's your turn now, Fogel. Unless there's something on this side as well? No. Blood!
Werner, care to explain what is going on here?
On nights like these, it's not unusual for some attendees to get a little exuberant. It's part of the appeal. Unfortunately, it appears things have gotten out of hand. Yes, some are more prone to bend the rules of morality.
That's murder. I doubt there's anything left to bend. Why did you not tell me immediately? We were chatting about trivial matters for some time.
If I'm completely honest, Sherlock, I've consumed a rather potent cocktail of substances. My attention slips and drifts. But I'm glad I thought to call for you.
You sent me a disguise.
Oh dear, did I? Well, since I found the body, Mr. Manchios has agreed that you can investigate the matter. I promise my mind will behave itself going forward.
All right. Pull yourself together, Werner. What is it about these nights that you were so eager to share with me?
Well, they're not always in the evenings, but they are in the shadows. People gather to test their boundaries in a safe and consensual atmosphere. Often with more stains than your typical crime scene. But that is the point. Who are we to judge?
I suppose that's fair. What about today, then? Was anything different?
Well, I was invited as a special guest. It was supposed to be a time of both divine and carnal pleasures. A scratch for every unconventional itch.
I imagine you're reeling from your shattered expectations.
On the contrary, there is still spectacle, stimulation, and release, merely in a different form. I like to let life entertain me.
Or death. Mr. Manchios is the owner of the manor, yes?
And the host of Cordona's most memorable parties. He promises even the ugliest guest a partner for the night. And for the ones with more unconventional tastes, Mr. Manchios provides other services.
What a caring person.
You cannot begin to imagine.
How did you discover the body? In between guzzles of alcohol?
I was set to perform in a fecundity rite with Fabio, and came to inquire further. It was a staged ritual where he was to play the principle of life.
And the rehearsal was unsuccessful?
Huh. Who knows? I found him alone on the altar, his blood dripping to the floor.
And then?
Then I called Mr. Manchios. He was panicking, so I told him about you. We left the room and locked the door. Then, we were...
filling time?
Waiting for you was stressful. We indulged in some simple comforts. Overindulged, perhaps.
Were you well acquainted with Fabio, the victim?
Everyone knew Fabio, or wanted to. His beauty was the talk of the island. Too handsome to go unnoticed. He was magnetic. Fat wallets fought for the privilege of having him. He offered the pleasures of performance, and more.
What about the fertility ritual? There was something about Fabio being a principle of life.
Fabio was supposed to portray the beauty of life's origin. Flowers, oil, not this travesty that seems straight out of the Inquisition.
So this ritual is not the fertility rite. What was it meant to look like?
It begins with a woman lying naked in a flower bed on the altar. She represents Gaia, the earth. As I cover her in oils, we chant for the principle. As our calls reach a climax, Fabio enters and copulates with her. After he finishes, I stab her with a dagger. That part's just pretend, of course.
But the intercourse is not?
I did not expect you to be such a prude. Are you a virgin? It is nothing to be ashamed of, but it would explain the color of your cheeks. The fertility rite marks the start of our festivities. The principle of life is beautiful, intimate, essential. It must not be stopped.
Yet it appears that someone did stop it. What about the naked woman? Can you tell me anything about her?
Oh yes, Matista. She's one of Fabio's compatriots and a performer too. I haven't seen her today, actually.
When you discovered the body, was the door open?
No, it was locked. Oh, that reminds me. It's a minor detail, but the first time I came to speak to Fabio, I left without entering, having been unable to open the door.
You didn't have the key?
No, I had it. Don't look at me like that. I was mostly sober. I suspect there was a key in the other side of the door, blocking the lock.
That detail may very well be major, Werner. Well done. So you returned later only to find the lock was not blocked?
Correct. After an hour had passed, I tried again and was able to unlock the door. That's when I discovered poor, handsome Fabio.
The police remain unaware of this tragic event?
Some of them may be hiding behind their masks. They conceal many things. But we didn't want the authorities to create more problems. Besides, after a few cocktails, their incompetence will have soared to new heights.
How do you know I even want the case?
I promised you relaxation. If there's one thing I know about you, Sherlock, it's that nothing soothes you more than a good mystery.
So we have a locked room. Incident. Oh, holy. Eh? But, eh? Okay, whatever. So we have the ritual dagger, who is the murder, which is the murder weapon. We have the victim. We have Manchio's notes, ritual. Okay, smoking lounge. A private room where guests can smoke in comfort. There were droplets of blood on the carpet. A wine bottle stained with blood was lying on the floor. What was the eye symbol again? Nope. Use concentration. Okay. I shall do so. Oh, I see. Mrs.
A person leaned against the doorframe. They left a smudged trail of blood. A bloody handprint on an armchair. The wounded person was here for some time. There appear to be no further traces leading to the altar.
So, Sherry, do you have any ideas about the case?
Perhaps. I think I can deduce what happened here.
I'm not so sure about that, but okay. Okay, let's see. What is he supposed to do here? Strangulation? No, that did not happen. Yes, he was probably knocked out. Although he was clenching his Let's see. No, that doesn't make sense. Yes. More likely, do we? Oh, okay, we have more. Much more. No. Why would he wash off his... Yeah, more likely, right? Yeah. Okay, let's try it. Oh, am I missing? Oh, I'm missing something, okay. Ah, there's so many bubbles here. Did she lock? It was Fabio's key. Let's try it like this.
You're not even trying,
Oh,
Sherry.
Sherry, concentrate. Yes. No, that's definitely not it.
You're not even trying, Sherry.
What is it then?
Concentrate.
No, that doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense either. But what I'm missing is how he got from here to there. There should be a bubble here telling me what happened here. Because it wouldn't make sense to be knocked out, then crawl your way over here, lay down, and then get killed. Okay, what other options do we have? That's definite no. Those are the only options. Who would have... Okay, I guess...
You're not even
I'm trying, Sherry.
Sherry.
Concentrate, yes. True. Now let's validate again. Yes.
The bottle was used as a weapon during a scuffle in the smoking lounge. Then, to ensure no one would interrupt, the murderer locked the door. The unconscious body of the victim was moved to the altar room. Once the body was on the altar, the murderer thrust the dagger into the victim's heart. Symbols were drawn with the blood. The wardrobe was used to hide the bloodied robe from anyone's eyes. The killer washed himself and took a clean robe from the hanger before leaving.
Are you all right? You're on the floor, not moving.
I think I know what happened here.
John. Okay, Fabio's murder. The murderer attacked Fabio in the smoking lounge, struck his head with a wine bottle. The attacker then hurried to lock the altar room's door from the inside. Yeah, okay, we heard that already. Minded Palace. Circumstances of Fabio's death. Fabio died on the altar. Fabio was sacrificed on the altar during a cold ritual. No! It was just made to look like an occult ritual. Come on! The murderer... The murderer was in possession of a key to the altar room and locked the door. The murderer cleaned themselves, was assaulted in a nearby room. Yes. Okay, what else? What else do we have? Murderer's key. It is clear the murderer had a key. If I find out who had a key to the altar room, I'll shrink the circle of suspect.
I'm starting to put the pieces together.
Fabio was stabbed.
I see nothing gets past you, Werner. Yes, he was stabbed, but only after being knocked out in the next room and placed here. I do not yet know why.
So, who's responsible?
Well, it was one person working alone, and the murderer has now donned a robe. He or she could be hiding in plain sight. We have lost time, Werner, but your discretion may prove to be a benediction after all. The murderer had to have access to this room. After the crime, he used his own key to lock the door. So, who had the key to the altar room?
I'm not sure. As a special guest, I was provided one by Mr. Manchios. He should be able to tell you of any others.
Where can I find him?
Most likely in the main hall, entertaining his guests. He has a mask with golden stars. You can't miss him. But please be discreet. We don't want to risk disturbing the revelry.
Okay.
I know you can untangle this mess.
Sheesh. Thanks. Star Mask, where is he? Golden stars, I see none. No? Am I that blind? Is it you?
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
On the stars? Golden stars. I need better lighting. Could someone come here with flashlight? Not you girls. You still busy? Okay. Someone tell me where your employer is. Freak performer, no. Does that help? Not really. Should probably just pin that. Lose concentration. Those are stars, right? Am I completely going crazy here? Yo. Oh well, let's talk to this guy.
Kurt Manchios, I presume? I'm Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, you must be the one Werner told me about. What a sweet voice you have. It must belong to a handsome young man. Can I call you Sherlock?
As you wish, Mr. Manchios. Mr. Vogel asked me to help you. The body in the altar room requires answers, and quickly. I suspect the murderer to still be here.
What? Lower your voice. I don't want anyone to hear us.
I like his voice.
Did you know Fabio well?
People are starting to look at us, Sherlock. Change the subject. I can't believe what happened to him. To me. Such an atrocity. Think what it means for me. A wonderful evening for so many good, influential, and rich people has been ruined. I have betrayed all my promises of exotic delights.
I don't understand. Surely a murder would affect your reputation to a greater extent.
Please, isn't this why you are here? I thought you were a silent magician. Do your tricks and make it go away.
Okay, sure.
I need to find all those who had the key to the altar room. As far as I know, Mr. Vogel, Fabio, and you had access to it. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. Also, Matista and Santos.
Santos? Who is that?
Santos Pinchetti, my major domo. In his opinion, at least.
I'd like to speak to Mr. Pinchetti and Matista. Do you have somewhere I might have a private conversation with them?
Of course, of course. Let me think. Matista is entertaining the guests somewhere, and Santos... Oh, yes. He will be busy with the servants. Or the cook. What's that noise? What's going on?
Who's storming?
Please, filth. You're under arrest.
What? Oh, come on. What? Why? What is happening right now? Sherlock, did you take drugs? I have no... remembrance of? And there we have Sherlock. Couldn't you just have unmasked yourself and said, "Hey, I'm your
Committed a
goddamn
crime.
consultant"?
Now I have to free you, kiss your hand, and apologise for the inconvenience. Your Grace.
I did tell you that Mr. Vogel and I were innocent. I emphasized it in my statement.
Your statement? Thanks to some bigwigs who work for the so-called good of the country by releasing fleas like you. Thank God we had Vogel in his letter. Once I get to that goldfish, I'll...
Bigwig? Oh, my wretched brother Mycroft and his long nose.
Wait, did you say Mycroft? Mycroft Holmes? Are you the youngest son of Violet Holmes, rest her soul?
You knew my mother?
Not personally, no. Not exactly. I was working on the paperwork for that case.
Would you happen to remember anything of the events?
Well, I didn't make the inquiry, but I remember seeing some notes. Why?
Perhaps we can negotiate.
Perhaps we can negotiate. I could be quite useful.
Huh. Got you hooked, right? You know what? Stark and the others think they're the smartest here, thanks to you. Let me get this straight. Are you listening to me, lad?
I'm all ears.
Take this case. Report to me only, to Constable Harvey Oswald. I'll leave everything I have on this table. Find the murderer. Be a real copper. Question the suspects, make them sing, give me something substantial.
And if Mr. Vogel is not a suspect?
If he's innocent, then you can take your favourite degenerate away from here. If you slip or mess with the evidence, then trust me, your brother won't save you from my bludgeon. Meanwhile, I'll be checking the archive for you. If anybody asks, then you're a consulting detective.
Let's make a start then, partner.
Weren't I from the beginning, though?
I'm glad we managed to get the scoop before the raid.
I'm like the only working police force in this town. That is not even a policeman. Okay, what do we have here? Report number 6260. Following a report from a witness of the satanic ritual who claimed to have found a body, the raid on the Manchios mansion was granted. It resulted in the arrest of multiple suspects and dispersal of the group in masks and robes, caught in acts of gross indecency and unnatural behavior. The body of the victim was found lying on an altar with a knife wound in his chest. The officers identified the victim, Fabio 20, a local performance artist. Arrested suspects: V. Vogel. V. Vogel had a letter of an insulting nature in his possession which had been written by the victim. He claims to have found the body. He is infamous for his eccentric personality. S. Holmes carried a murder weapon, a dagger with the victim's blood and other items of evidence. He was invited by another suspect, V. Vogel, presumably to obstruct the official investigation. K. Manchos. K. Manchos, the owner of the mentioned organizer of the satanic party, paid the victim to participate in the ritual, had access to the crime scene. Matista, Fabio's partner and participant in the ritual, tried to escape, resisted arrest, owned a book with a description of the ritual performed in the altar room. Some of the guests are temporarily detained for further questioning. Is there this other dude, or was he the one calling the police? Then I will not doubt that he's the actual murderer, but okay. Yeah, give me the keys.
Back on track to solve the case.
Witness deposition. I, Santos Pinchetti. Yes, told you. He was the one. A witness who reports a suspicion of murder at Manchios' mansion in Gran Sarai. During preparations for the social party, I heard loud noises from the closed altar room. Immediately, I thought of the sacrifice of a living being overviewed by none other than Kurt Manchios. There was blood on the walls, strange symbols, and a dagger in the heart. As soon as I was able to think clearly, I rushed to the police station to report my findings. The station responded to the deposition by sending a patrol, while the witness left the station and went home. Get that man back here! No! What do we have here? Evidence ticket. The provider of this ticket has permission to inspect all evidence on case number 6260. Ooh. Okay, is that all? That. Let's go for the mine place. Pinchetti is a suspect who should be arrested and questioned. He had a key, which he did not mention in his deposition. Clues. Don't think anything else fits together right now. Unless... no. Okay, no. Anything else? Gifted cufflinks? What? Received expensive cufflinks as a present from Machos. Why is that important? Imprisoned Vogel. Vogel is under arrest since he is one of the primary suspects. Witness disposition. Yeah, okay. Santos as a suspect. Police investigation. The police arrested me during the raid on Manchios' mansion. That's where Oswald freed me. He said he can find the documents relating to my mother's death in exchange for help in solving this case. I agreed. Constable Oswald will be in the archive during my investigation. He left everything he has for the case on the table. Anything else? I can turn off the light.
I can't go back to prison.
You can teleport out of here anytime, you know that, right? Yeah. Do I have everything? Am I missing something? The blood is not mine. I can't interact with anything else on the table. Okay, whatever. Evidence ticket. Who am I supposed to talk to? Okay, let's start with Vogel.
Look, I found Werner.
What? I don't. Ah. Yo.
Werner, are you all right?
Oh, yes, yes. Everything's fine. In fact, it's something of a family reunion. My brother spent quite some time in this place himself.
You should not be here. I told the police everything I knew, but they refused to let you go. They require proof to free you.
Ha! What did you expect? The mighty Sherlock Holmes swans in, tells the officers what to think, and the world obeys?
Of course not. Anyway, I struck a deal with the constable, and I've got a free hand in the investigation. I find proof to solve the case for him. He obtains files about my mother's death for me.
Well done. If one has the power or will and can act, then one must. I wonder, suppose you couldn't get the proof to your truth. Would you tell a lie to the guard that enabled my freedom, knowing my innocence? Would that not be just?
No. Why would I lie for you? What is in it for me? Ah. Okay, I see where this is going. Since I said I was on the side of justice, if I believe he's innocent, I would or should try to prove his innocence, but if I can't, then a lie would be the option to go for, to get him out of the arrest. But shouldn't we be able to find enough proof for his innocence so we don't have to lie for him? Because as soon as he asked me, it made him suspicious. Oh well, I would lie for you, but I can change my mind later, yes? Good.
I suppose that in the pursuit of justice, if truth was ineffectual, then one must resort to other means to achieve the outcome. I would do it.
Oh, Sherlock, that is sweet of you. Alas, if the police are after hard evidence, then I suppose neither truth nor lie would do.
That is absurd. I can resolve this without compromises. Do not give up hope.
Okay, what do you know?
I can't follow you here.
Okay.
I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
I didn't know. That's probably not it.
I have learned who told the police about the crime. It was Santos Pinchetti.
Do I know him?
The major domo of the manor. He cleans up after you?
Well, then he does his job perfectly. All but invisible. I couldn't tell you the first thing about him.
What a bunch of losers.
Okay, do we have anything
I know
else?
you can untangle this mess.
No. Okay.
What a bunch of losers.
Ah.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Where's that Manchus, dude? No. Dude. Where you at? Are you Manchu?
Good day, Mr. Manchios. I am Constable Oswald's partner in this investigation.
Be quick and gentle. Some of your colleagues are untrained boors.
Can we
Although I
put
don't
the
mind
mask
meeting
on him
young
again?
Officers, the new blood here.
If you cooperate in finding Fabio's murderer, there will be no need to meet with the boars again.
That voice. Werner's friend? You're the policeman. What a disappointment.
Only an undercover agent can scour a ditch full of deviants. I am a consulting detective, although I'm capable of replacing the entire department through my consultations.
Sharp-tongued, I like it. May I presume this tongue will get us out of this trouble? I would be so indebted and glad to repay you.
Nothing's changed. I'm looking for the murderer. That's the only way to get us out of trouble.
But it shouldn't take much time, correct? We're all busy after all.
I need to examine you first.
Okay. Where's makeup? I was saying his... Oh, I was thinking his cheeks were rather... reddish? Rash from exposure to hair dye. Oh, okay. So he's grey. Or greying. Washed hands in a hurry. Lavishly expensive. Why is that important? Sticker, no. Hides his age, yes. I don't need to read that. If he washed his hands in a hurry. I'm sorry, then he's no stickler for cleanliness. Okay, Cord Munchus is extremely rich, eccentric and frivolous. He is the organizer of the parties for the Kudona's elite and the owner of the Mencius mansion. He spends his life in the company of similarly overprivileged people. However, Mr. Mencius wishes to hide his true age from the younger participants of his parties. He is concerned with aging to the point where he uses makeup and hair dye to look younger. I don't know if it helps. Not really, no. But oh well. I don't know what his actual age is, so... I would judge him to be... But then again, they would look older much earlier since they die younger? During the 1900s, right? $1800s? 1900s? 1900s. So he's probably in his 50s, but he looks more like he's in his 70s. Doesn't matter. Yes.
You are a little over the top with your use of makeup, Mr. Mencius. Is it so difficult for you to acknowledge your age?
Well, Sherlock, that's easy for you to say to an old man when you look as though you are barely 15.
But still, it shouldn't be an issue for someone of your status.
For people of my age, it isn't an issue, no. But the younger ones can be so afraid of wrinkles and grey flecks. I have to adapt.
Such a methodical man who cares for his body but misses the soap under his fingernails. Are you so impatient, or perhaps even impulsive?
I wouldn't call myself that. Silly little details. If I missed it, it wasn't important. Or rather, it was less important than who or what I was focused on.
Okay, what was Fabio like?
What was Fabio like? His personality, his habits? Anything you can tell me?
He was the brightest star of my parties. Young, magnetic, and full of energy. I don't even want to mention his beauty. Otherwise, I'll be sobbing.
An expensive champion, I imagine.
His performances were flawless. He deserved his payment. Do you think he was murdered because of money?
Possibly. What about the other guests? Were they used to opening their wallets as well?
I wouldn't restrict my guests from anything. I'm sure Fabio received a few coins from others for his services.
Mr. Vogel told me a little about your parties, but I would like to know more directly from you.
I'm all yours, Sherlock. You have me arrested and locked here with you alone.
That sounds creepy from this man. Just knowing that he probably fucked Fabio as well. But hey.
I'd like to know who you usually invite to your parties.
Free minds who are able to leave reality for an evening, who can taste forbidden fruit without prejudice. There is nothing that quite spices up life like these parties, assuming one is old enough and has worked many years for the good of one's country.
All true labourers, I see.
Worked long enough? You mean be born into a rich family? Sure.
Why did you invite Mr. Vogel as your special guest?
He's a pretty fellow. He's capable of surprising the public. He has a talent for saying words that no one else would wish to either say or hear.
I suppose I can't argue with that.
He is a free addition to the eccentricity of the party, which is fine by me, as long as it enhances my party.
And provide evidence. Okay, what do we want to know more about? Extremely rich and eccentric, patrolling. Don't really care about that. No.
You'd better ask someone else. I've no idea about that.
Ah, okay.
Do you have any idea who tipped off the police to raid your mansion, Mr. Manchios?
Of course. It was you. I could even say you Sherlocked me in here.
A good guess, but the wrong one. The fellow who did that was Mr. Pinchetti, your major domo.
What? Santos? But how could he even know? If he's not the murderer himself. The ungrateful swine. He has dared to besmirch my reputation.
Not a very eloquent choice of words.
What should I call him then, since he's a snitch? Make him talk, Sherlock. I'm quite certain he knows more about the murder than he has told the police.
Mm-hmm. What else do we have?
I've no idea about that. That's not something I know much about. I've no idea about that.
What do you know?
I've no idea about that.
Ah, right.
You bought an expensive pair of cufflinks for Fabio. Were they his price? Or were they a tip for an exclusive show?
It was pure business. Fabio escorted me a few times. I was merely showing my gratitude.
This pair cost a small fortune. You must be extremely grateful then. Tell me more.
You've thrust a knife in an exposed nerve, Sherlock. Yes, he was my protege and my beacon also. With my experience and his beauty, we could have achieved anything. I had faith in him. I would have made him.
Okay. Creepy old dude. Now we still have evidence tickets. This and... Okay, that's probably talking to Santos himself. And that's probably talking to one of the policemen. Okay, court. Munches is feeling... Yeah, wow, that was obvious. Munches carefully prepared himself for the depravity. No. I don't think so, at least. At least not yet. Let's keep it at that. Anything else? No, I don't think anything else fits now. Who you have? Okay. Let's pin that. In the evidence room. Which is the evidence room? Hello? Somebody tell me, what is the evidence room? Inspector. Man. Do you guys know anything? Probably not.
Could you help me?
A solid question, sir, but I don't have the answer.
What did I expect? Nothing. Shouldn't you be... I don't know. Letting these people in? Lazy people.
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me? What? I'm not sure I know.
It's the archive. Chief Inspector. Evidence room, yes.
Good day. Your ticket, please, if you want me to help you.
Evidence ticket.
I'd like to check the evidence from this case.
And who are you?
Oswald sent me. I'm a consulting detective.
His partner, then? Let me see. Ah, a ritual murder. What a bunch of degenerates. Wait a second. I'll bring it to the table.
What table? Ah, okay. Keys.
All the keys of the mansion on one golden ring. A heavily perfumed handkerchief with the initials KM in the corner. It's a miracle this ruby hasn't tempted anyone.
Letter from Fabio. The letter that was found in Vogel's evidence box. Is your mind unsound? You can't control your bitterness. Not around me, anyway. For me, it's too great a risk to ignore that kind of behavior. I can speak and play with anyone I choose. I'm not another Matista. You pay me, but you haven't bought me. Of course, I'll keep all your generous donations, even though they hardly compensate for your last terrible outburst. I'm leaving you, although Matista will still be around. Fabio. Hey. Sounds like...
Not the time for privacy.
someone was a salty
Werner's personal sketchbook.
enjoyer of his art form.
An emergency kit for boredom.
If you call it that, sure. What is that?
A handcrafted charm that contains hair and nail clippings.
Yikes.
Her key to the altar room. That's not for bedtime reading.
Anything else? Oh, yeah.
This ex libris belongs to Manchios Library.
The power of love, blood and mandrake. The police found this occult book in Batista's bag during the arrest. According to the ex libris, the tome was taken from Mr. Manchios' collection. It contains illustrations and descriptions of a ritual similar to the crime scene. Prepare the naked body of a recently deceased object of interest. Draw symbols of Mars and Venus to enhance the power you possess. To use the force of male and female nature. Pierce his heart with a golden dagger to be rid of the blood that does not love you. Draw a symbol of representing your love while waiting for the resurrection. Recite the charm.
The book describes a ritual similar to the one performed in the altar room. Thank you, officer.
Okay, so we have that. Open that and go to the archive. Yo, Oswald. Wanna talk?
You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. I've nothing to say about this. You'd better ask me a question I know how to answer. I don't think I can tell you anything about this.
Have you considered Mr. Santos Pinchetti as a suspect?
The snitch? Have you seen him? I mean, my breath could knock him down. What's so special about him?
As a major domo, he has keys that open all the rooms, including the one to the crime scene. Could have testified only to circumvent suspicion, don't you think? We need to question him.
Right. I'll send our men to fetch him. Stay here. They brought him in, Mr. Holmes. Here's the key to interrogation room number 7. Mr. Pinchetti didn't even resist, Herman said.
Thank you.
Okay. Do you still have anything for me?
Question Mr. Pinchetti in the
Okay.
interrogation room.
Letter from Fabio. Let's talk to Hugo first.
This area is restricted.
Yeah.
So, the police found a letter from Fabio in your pocket?
I cannot tell if it was truly in my pocket at all. Perhaps it was placed there later.
Well, that is one hypothesis. If it were true, then how did it get there?
No clue. But this night has been rather eccentric. Such a detail could have easily eluded me.
Indeed. Do you recall reading it?
I can't remember that either. But I tend to respect privacy. Reading others' personal notes is not one of my perversities.
Not happy with your answer there. He doesn't know how Fabio's letter got into his pocket. He didn't read it.
What a bunch of losers.
Yeah.
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
Why are you in the dark?
Mr. Pinchetti, a pleasure to meet you. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald.
I've already told him everything I know. I'm only a witness, sir. Everything's in my report.
And I've read it. You forgot to mention that you hold the keys to the room where Fabio was found. I need only to find if the crime was intentional.
But I need to return to my duties.
I doubt the house will fall without you, Mr. Pinchetti. Just be still for a few seconds.
Now, there we go. Repaired multiple times. Colored more than once. Okay. Does he not get enough money? Shouldn't the primo domo get more money in a rich man's house? Stepped in blood. Psoriasis or allergy. Patched holes. I would think more so the second one. But then again, he's working for a rather rich master, and you would think you would pay him well. Santos Pinchetti is the head servant at the Mancio's mansion. Despite being employed at the highest position within the household, he appears to be poor. Despite having enough money, Mr. Pinchetti spends as little of it as possible. Cheap makeup hides imperfections on his body. In an attempt to look more modern, Mr. Pinchetti has dyed his suit on several occasions. To save even more money, the majordomo appears to have personally repaired multiple holes in the suit. Okay. Second option. Santos Pinchetti is the head servant at the Mancio's mansion. Despite being employed at the highest position within the household, he appears to be poor. His body shows symptoms of psoriasis. Mr. Pinchetti hides his damaged skin under layers of makeup. The majordomo's suit had multiple holes that had been patched or sewn. To renovate the suit's look, Mr. Pinchetti had dyed it. Where could it... Oh, unless the letter that was in Vogel's possession was actually his, and he's paying, or was paying Fabio with his own money, and that is why he has no money for himself. Yes? Maybe? Let's go for it. Yes.
You are the major domo of a rich mansion, and you seem barely able to afford decent clothing. You hide under heavy makeup a skin disease that might be treated with more onerous but less harmful means. Do you have money troubles?
I do not have a lot of means. The pay is below what you might expect.
But you could easily change your job if your employer does not meet your elementary needs.
One can change his employer, that is true.
And the blood on your shoe, where does that come from?
I don't actually know. Perhaps from a guest?
Did you know Fabio?
Not personally. He was a frequent guest, and cleaning the mess after his performances was tedious. Mr. Manchios always had a role for him, and mainly the leading one. The parties were always, Fabio-centric?
And Matista? Was she as popular as her partner?
Don't tell her I said this, but I do not think so. Mr. Manchios hired her only because Fabio refused to work without her. Mr. Manchios used to see her as a worker. She was tasked with entertaining the guests, unlike Fabio, who could pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize the key from the altar room among these.
Do you? Good Manchios' will and note. A small note attached to the will says, Santos, my hopeful slug, you begged me to include you in my will, so I did. Here's my latest revision of the will. Kurt. Text of the will under the note. Santos Pinchetti, the major domo of the Manchios mansion, receives a jar of moustache wax and a salt lamp that he might always remember his caring employer, Court Manch. You should leave that man. Wow. Why is there blood on the table? People, can you clean up after yourselves, please?
Mr. Manchios says that you begged him to be included in the heritage. Isn't that a little extreme, even for a major domo?
He's not only my employer, he's my uncle. And I'm his next of kin. The only one. Mr. Manchios flatly refuses to pay a family member. All I have to do is repay his so-called love. Cleaning up the filth after perverts and decadents. He's imprisoned me. The best I can hope for is a new broom. That's why I wanted to have my part of the inheritance.
Is it that bad? You have a roof above your head, a salary, and the status of a major domo.
For God's sake. I'm forced to dye and stitch my threadbare clothes, and the holes in my shoes are painful. I'm ashamed every time a guest looks at me closely.
Why do you think your uncle treats you this way?
My mother, my uncle's sister, had me illegitimately. She died, and I was given the surname of one of the maids.
But you are entitled to some of the money that belongs to your family.
He thinks not. I was not responsible for my mother's death. I work hard, and he pays me nothing. I feed on the leftovers.
Why don't you leave
While
then?
he wastes our estate's property on decadent parties. He paid Fabio handsomely and showered him with expensive gifts for their disgusting relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Please let me out. Please let me out.
Anyone in here? Nope. Ah, there we have the lady.
I'm Sherlock Holmes. I'm helping Constable Oswald. You are Matista, Fabio's friend.
This body, yes, it's Matista. But it's a mere shell that will die someday. Just like Fabio.
His end was predictable. Let's be a bit nicer there, Sherlock, shall we?
Please accept my condolences for your friend.
Thank you.
I'm just here to ask questions and find Fabio's murderer.
It will not bring Fabio back.
Lady, can I give you a tip? This makeup does not suit you. I know I don't wear makeup myself, but this does not suit you at all. The lips are fine, but the color combination of the eyeshadow and the blush does not work, especially with the hair. Okay? Thank you. Obtained recently. Blood-filled bruises. Okay. Primitive occult tattoo. Inks herself. Wow. She's talented. If she's inking herself. Okay. You should applaud her for that. Nervous, bitten nails. Okay. Self-harm. Yeah. Old and healing cuts. And also slave brand. Connected with the branding iron. Anything else? Down here? Old and barely visible. Oh, the poor lady. Just the first sentence already told you the answer for that one. My body is. That was her first sentence. After we asked her if she was Matilda? What was her name again? Okay, Matista, right. Matista, the performer and Fabio's partner, has had a difficult life. She was branded and enslaved while still a child. While enslaved, she met Fabio, hence their similar branding. All scars are the result of her slavery. During adolescence, she continues to be haunted by these traumatic experiences. Matista seems to be pragmatic about her body after years of abuse. She sells herself to the guests, who do whatever they want to her. She's not afraid to step over the line. Also, Matista marks her body with ink. Okay, what is the other one? Matista the performer, huh? Branded, Man of Fire. Yep, it's the same. She has a genuine interest in mysticism since she has tattooed her body with occult symbols. Miss Matista tries to get over her past, and the life of a performer seems to be an opportunity for her to earn money. They both fit, in a way. But I don't think she's really comfortable with her position. Yeah. Let's go for that.
You have both old and new scars. Some from the time when you were a slave with Fabio. Other scars have a different origin. The guests pay good money to torment you?
I am skilled in giving pleasure, but I don't participate in such practices.
I thought your body was...
For sale. It's true. Many unwanted things were done to my body. And the pain helped me to discover...
Occult deities? Yes, the tattoo speaks loudly of it.
Yes. Your gods abandoned me, and the ones I favor now are more protective of me.
How did you escape?
Something happened. One night the master fell down the stairs. I made him fall, and he died. We ran away that day. We managed to get on a ship and traveled here, to Gordona. Fabio and I started a new life here. It was very hard at first, but it became better with time. Until today.
The bruises on your neck are not self-inflicted. Someone else made them.
Some guests can't contain themselves. They even bite. sometimes.
Okay.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
Okay, what else?
This is the letter the police found in Mr. Vogel's pocket. Fabio wrote it. Do you know anything about it?
I don't. Although I can feel Fabio's energy. It's there, but it refuses to let me analyze it.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
Okay. What was that? Okay. Mind pillars. What? Whoa, wow. Mark Pinchetti. 26. From the police. Fresh bruises. Batista suffered bruises on her body from brutal interaction with the guests during the party. Santos Pinchetti failed to notice a bloodstain on the side of his shoe while cleaning himself after the murder. No. Batista may have performed the ritual on Fabio to bring his love back. Don't worry. Hope you get some good rest there. Expensive gifts. Is there something about... According to Santos Pinchetti, and by the content of the letter, it may have been addressed to Kurt Manchos. Okay. No? Pinchetti has been forced to work for Kurt Manchos in the desperate hope of obtaining heritage, but it hasn't paid off. Yes, leave him. And if he... I'm sorry, but if he's gonna drink and party all your money away, all your heritage, then it's better to not be a part of that family. Not have that stain on your reputation. Batista was bruised by the guests. Fabio bruised Batista. No. Highly unlikely. I doubt Matista would be strong enough to knock Bobby out, drag him to the altar, and then put him up there. No. Gently missed blood spurt and accidentally stepped in blood. Okay. We're still missing a lot there. I heard you want to talk?
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Well, maybe you put it there.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Okay. I think I want to look this guy up. I don't care if he's not actually the murderer. I'm gonna make it happen. Just because he is such an asshole.
I've read the letter about your will. A harsh method of ridiculing Santos. I doubt he will use mustache wax when he wears no mustache to begin with.
Where did you get it? Is the slug here? Tell him I shouldn't have to provide for him. He's a grown man who shouldn't sit on his uncle's neck. He conceives himself as my only heir.
And who is he to you?
He's a leech on my aging body. He has only added problems to my life since the death of his mother.
I fail to see why you made him your major domo.
He needed to know his place, so I taught him.
Okay, who else am I supposed to talk to about this letter? Not you, right? What?
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchios?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchios could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchios. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchios.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchios?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
So the only one we haven't talked about the letter is him.
Please let me out.
Who else? Bogo?
I have reason to believe that the intended recipient of the incriminating letter may have been Kurt Manchios.
Well, that makes sense. Too bad I can't remember how I came to possess it. Though I did spend quite some time with Mr. Manchios during the party.
Unfortunately, even with an answer, that may still not be enough to clear you with the police. But fear not, I will persevere.
I hope your attempt to put things straight will make up for...
you being on a bender?
Touché.
What else? am I supposed to do with this stupid letter? Okay, Mencius again. You talk.
I can't wrap my head around such a tragedy at my party.
Please let me out.
Lady talk. Oh, no, wrong room.
I know I can handle the news.
What else? Who else is here? John, are you the recipient?
I can't go back to prison.
Ah. Nobody here. Nobody here. That is restricted. You guys know anything?
May I ask you something?
I can't help you with that, sir.
What did I expect? Do you know something?
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
Okay. Now, we only have the police investigation left. Vogel took the letter under influence. Manchios planted the letter. Maybe? Fabio's shattered chord cured Manchios's feelings. Okay. Crime of passion or a sexual predator. Cord Manchios is the murderer. For years, Fabio played with Cord Manchios' heart and abused his interest in the young performer. When Manchios received yet another rejection, he murdered Fabio and staged a love ritual to avoid suspicion. Cord was heartbroken and panicked, and did not mean to kill Fabio. The improvised ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up crime. A prison sentence should be enough, for his harsher punishment is the death of his love. Cord Manchios killed Fabio in cold blood. He staged the crime as a ritual to blame Matista. He planted the letter in Vogel's pockets to avoid suspicion. Manchios had no consideration for the life. It's not picking up the dogs barking. Great. Manchios has no consideration for the life of others and deserves to be hanged. For me, he feels more like a sexual predator than a person in love. And I can understand why Santos would, well, get him arrested. Let's go. Hang him. Yes, yes. There you go. Ah, I need to accuse the guy again now. Check those. Wrong room. Wow.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her. So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
I'm not happy with the outcome, but... well, I am happy with having him hanged.
You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him, with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
Mm-hmm.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes, or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned. You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
early 60s,
who hosts the cream of Cordona's society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
I don't think it was premeditated.
Fabio played with your feelings. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way that you would have liked. You wanted to be loved, but Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You were passionate, and so you struck him. Once you understood your mistake, it was too late. You were afraid, so you staged the ritual. With such a story, you might be sentenced to a few years. It might clean your conscience, and soon the case will be forgotten.
No. No.
This is my decision. I'll talk to Constable Oswald to see what I can do.
What? I wanted to see him hanged and not put in prison for 2 years. Should have said premeditated. No. For that, it was too clumsy. I'm sorry, but staging a party and inviting tons of people just to murder someone, that is dangerous. Okay. Can I change my verdict again? I want to see him hanged.
There's no fool like an old fool. Kurt Manchios did it. A young boy played with the heart of an old man. The latter couldn't handle it. The evidence I obtained clearly shows that the quarrel was not intended to end badly. It was an accident.
Showing pity towards your own kind, Holmes. Whatever.
All I'm saying is that prison won't take much away from an old and crushed man.
Fine. A big name like that will still give me a promotion. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones, including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
I'm not happy with the outcome. Report number 743. Officers arrived to find the deceased, identified as Mrs. Violet Holmes, lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision, 2 inches in length, down her throat. Her face was swollen and covered in red blotches, likely cause of death, hypoxia? Awaiting confirmation from medical examiner. Main suspect Otto Richter was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for autopsy. That's it. You saw your dead mother?
The garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.
Oh, you did it, Sherlock! The case is closed and all rewards belong to the winner. Bravo!
It is merely the triumph of the truth.
Is it? No compromises? No lies? You're happy with your decisions?
It is what it is. It is not an acceptable outcome. He murdered someone. And I'm not for the death penalty, but 2 years for murdering someone? No.
Whatever the truth, it had to be revealed. The victim deserved it.
Well, you seem confident in the value of your actions. I guess since I'm free, you were heard after all. By the way, did you get that precious information about your mother? Oh, not that you must.
Yes, I did.
Forgive my intrusion in such a personal matter. I simply worry I'm failing to be of much help to you.
Actually, you were. For some reason, all the archives on the case had disappeared. This was a rare opportunity to obtain the impossible.
Outrageous. Perhaps someone found the truth unpleasant. Society usually rejects those who speak with too much honesty, doesn't it?
A comfortable lie is often preferred to an uncomfortable truth. Still, I believe that the latter should prevail, and I cannot remain silent.
That's quixotism at its best. Your mere truth cannot defeat institutions, systems, and power. Etiquette, religion, marriage, they're all lies told to preserve connections, love, and sanity, and it's all corruptible.
Lies destroy human dignity. How could you make a free decision without any knowledge of the truth?
Are we really free to decide anything in this world, Sherlock?
Why are we debating freedom? Okay, let's think about this. Are we truly free? It depends on your idea of freedom. And of course the country you live in. But if you consider freedom as an overall ability to have the choice to live the way you want it to, then yes, I am free. As long as I don't intend to hurt somebody else, I am free to do what I want. Isn't that enough freedom? Every society needs rules just to survive in a way. Yeah. Humans tend to build groups and think of rules just to inflict some dominance over others. So in a way, we are not free because we are bound by society's rules, but overall, I would say we have enough freedom. And you don't need that much more freedom. If you need more, then maybe living in an aristocratic society isn't the right thing to do. I don't want to hear that lecture, but oh, come on. Tell me why I'm not free, Paul.
Oh, yes. It's a struggle, but yes, we can make our own decisions. That's what I fight for.
What an endless fight it is. Will you ever give yourself a break, Sherlock? You're a walking contradiction, Sherlock. You refuse to lie to others, but constantly lie to yourself. How long until the train comes off the track? I cannot look away, but perhaps I should take a few steps back. You're an accident waiting to happen, dear. Until then, I shall bid you adieu.
That one is so true. But he's currently trying to heal, so should be fine. But then again, I guess if John leaves, finally, he'll break down. Which will not be pretty. But we'll be there for him. No? Okay. Where's the next newsboy? Oops. Pin. Mind Palace. What else? Mental deceased. She drowned? She didn't drown. It was 2 slits though. Don't you only need 1? Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's go to the mansion. Safe there. Unless we get a cutscene. Good. Oop. Unlock it, unlock it, unlock it. Beginning from the front entrance. True, true. He will never truly leave. He is a part of Sherlock after all. Hello? can't see memory bubbles. You give me the memory. I remember blooming trees shimmering in the pond and a cozy gazebo. It seems that we have a large garden behind our manor, accessible through a door on the ground floor that is bordered by 2 windows. Yeah, that is that door over there. John.
Sherry,
Ah,
Sherry.
okay.
Please listen to me. Sherry.
John, I always listen to you.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry, like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this memory for a reason. There is only pain here.
Pain? And truth.
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona, so many others we can help. There is no coming back from this.
Oh. To unlock all the memories, John will be gone, so he won't give me his little quizzes. Is that it? But I have to finish this. I'm sorry, John. I think we have one more door, so don't worry, my friend.
John, my animum, my brother, there is nothing more important in this moment than this truth. I know you fear for me, but my path was set long ago. I can no more step off it than I can ask the avalanche to roll back uphill.
Just please be careful, Sherry. I love you.
Quite.
We love you too, John.
We'll go together.
We love you too. Okay. After this emotional climax, I shall end the stream. Just because I am so tired. I'm not ready for the emotional damage this will cause me. So, yeah, I think we'll see what this is all about tomorrow. Oh, probably not tomorrow, actually. We'll see about tomorrow. But definitely Monday, if not tomorrow. Alright. Yeah. Hey, where's my save function? Why is there no save?
Why didn't I remember we had such a big garden?
Okay,
Maybe
I guess we'll have to finish this. No. Or we'll have to go through that again. Okay, let's do that. It's autosave, so it should have saved that. It was! It was. Alright. Thanks for joining in, everybody. We'll see where this potential murder leads us tomorrow, or definitely Monday. And I'll see you probably then, maybe? Take care, bye bye.